Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know this literally does not work. It is Thirsty Thursday. It is the beginning of Week 9 tonight. Wow, we have the Colts versus
The
the
Jets
Jets. The Jets. Wouldn't it be great to see the Jets get a third win and beat Carson
with,
Wentz?
with White,
Yeah, that would be actually incredible. I
he's in
would
the Hall
love
of Fame.
being rudely interrupted again. It would be great to see that because I just have this thing, this personal vendetta against Carson Wentz. You know, I don't know what it is. I just don't like Carson Wentz and don't want him to succeed ever. Anyway, our Cowboys. This is actually the full practice, first full practice of the week. Yesterday was an abbreviated one because they played Sunday night. NFL rules have changed how you can do practice and stuff. You know, back in my day, we'd have two a days, in training camp that are full padded, full contact, tackling people. These days, hardly at all. In fact, there's only a maximum of, excuse me, three padded practices left. Yeah, for the season. For the season. It's still crazy to me. Anyway, Dak Prescott is expected to be a full go today. Demarcus Lawrence is working out with the trainers yesterday and should be trying to begin to test that foot a little bit more. Michael Gallup has a chance to play this weekend. It's interesting because I talked about it earlier in one of the other videos that I had a friend that was saying, man, we should sign Deshaun Jackson and stuff, because he's still playing really, really good. We can get him on the cheap. Michael Gallup is going to be good. What? Oh, just let me, just stop. Just stop. Michael Gallup is going to be gone, getting the bag of money next year, and we can sign him to a prove-it deal for next year. And I kept saying he just kept sending me text after text with this argument on here, and I was like, dude, first of all, Deshaun Jackson is one of those guys that's a cancer. And I said, Deshaun Jackson is one of those old guys that you don't want to go ahead and sign. He's like, no, man, he's still looking good. He looked good. I saw him. He had one great play. And see, here's the problem that you have of players. You'll see him make one great play because I can't remember which Rams game it was, but it was a touchdown. It was a big play, and you see that on TV and you say, "Wow, Deshaun Jackson is still playing." But see, that's more of the exception than the norm of what he's doing, because I'm sorry. Look, I just wanted to pull this up because he kept going on about this and things. And I was just like, dude, Deshaun Jackson is done. No, man, he's not, man. I'm telling you, he can still get it done. He's had 8 receptions this season for 221 yards. Against the Seahawks, worst defense in football. One catch, 68 yards. That was the catch. So you see him and you say, whoa, that's freaking insane. And against the Buccaneers, he had 3 catches for 120 yards. So he had 2 big plays that basically made the season. But the thing is, so far this year, 221 yards. Last year, 236 yards. The year before, 159 yards. And so I kept going on. He just kept going and going. And it was like, dude, so I'm telling you, you'd rather go ahead and sit Cedric Wilson, right? You'd rather set Cedric Wilson and bring in him, right? Because that's what they're talking about. He's like, oh, I forgot we had him too. I kept thinking about Michael Gallup. It's like, yeah, and that's the point right now. As we keep talking about bringing in other guys, guess what? We have a lot of guys that are there that have yet to get a chance to play because we have so much depth. We still have Neville Gallimore. Gallimore last year was a beast. He's going to help clog up that middle. You've got Tristan Hill, who's got a lot to prove, so he's trying to get back out on the field. You've got Demarcus Lawrence that's coming. You've got Michael Gallup. So stop with this. We got to get more people. We've got what we need here. We just need to get the combinations together. We're good. We don't need anybody else. Some bad news to kind of report is what you expect when you start getting successful. I talked earlier about, Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn's stock is going through the roof right now. It has to be. Because you look at it and say, well, apparently Seattle wasn't a fluke. That what he did with the Legion of Boom, that shit's real because he's replicating it with the Dallas Cowboys. And he did take an Atlanta Falcons team to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, they lost, but still a pretty good resume. And then there is, of course, Kellen Moore, the anti-Jason Garrett. Okay? Well, Jerry Jones got to get some wheeling and dealing together. Well, hold on. Let me finish my points here. So apparently, TCU is looking for a new coach. And they have identified a handful of guys that they have on their wish list right now. So they are attempting to get interviews with Jackson State head coach Deion Sanders. Prime time. Okay? Clemson offensive coordinator Tony Elliott. And Nevada head coach Jay Norvell. And TCU is also interested in Kellen Moore. So the thing is, whether this rumor is correct or not about him with the Horned Frogs, it's not going to be the only team that's interested in him. You'll remember the Eagles were interested in getting an interview with him last year too. And I bet right about now they wish that they had him as opposed to Nick Sirianni, Nick Kotite, as Philly 500 likes to call him. And you can best believe after the success of Shanahan and McVay, this is where it's crazy. This is where it's really crazy. Would you believe both of them were coaches on the Washington football team? Let that sit in for a second. Sean McVay and Shanahan were assistant coaches with the Washington football team and got hired as head coaches. And you see what they've done. Both of them been to a Super Bowl. Didn't win. They've both been to a Super Bowl. So now you look at a Kellen Moore who's taken a fourth-round quarterback and a team that is hitting on all cylinders, and the creativity that they have right now. Dudes, I'm going to release a video later on this morning. 2 offensive linemen in the backfield. We're talking about a jumbo heavy wishbone. 2-man route. It's just 2 men wide receivers. The defense is so confused, they don't even cover CeeDee Lamb. Even though they got 4 guys there, he's wide open. And this, my friends, is the creativity that NFL teams are going to look at and say, yeah, we want to talk to that guy. I believe that he is a head coach in waiting for the Dallas Cowboys. But on the flip side of this, you look at it and you say, right now, as much as they give Mike McCarthy a lot of grief, he's got this team together. And how do you end up saying, Mike McCarthy, boy, bye, and move Kellen Moore as the head coach? And one final thing I'll have on this, because I got to get out here. It's cold. It's only like 32 degrees this morning. It's only going to get up to like 44. And we're going to be working outside on a deck. Some guys are great coordinators, but not head coaches. It's because it's a different set of skills. Some guys are very hands-on. I'll tell you what, I will give it to you my way. I can build anything. Anything. I can look at something that, people say you can't be, we don't know how to do it. Literally at the Smithsonian, at the National American Indian Museum right now, we built a bulkhead that the designer tried to design and design and design and design, that they had 3 contractors that tried, spent time on it, just said it can't be done. And they came to me and said, what do you think? I looked at the problem, and I said, here's how I can do it. And I went, blah, 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 blah. The architect listened. He said, okay, I'll get you the plans. He went back, and 3 weeks later, the plans came. I was already done with the piece. I could see it in my mind. I could make it work. I know how to go about it. I'm hands-on. And me and Mike, we built this thing. And it's there. It's going to be there for probably the next 10, 15 years. If not, it's and thousands of people go past it every day. Had no idea that Mark Holmes built it, but I have work that's in the Smithsonian. I'm very hands-on. But I've had as many as 20 people working for me with my own company and stuff. And it's not the same. I don't like paperwork. I don't like going from job to job. I want to get my hands dirty to physically feel the project, get that dust all over me and stuff, That's what I enjoy. I can do being the head guy, but I don't really like it. It's not my specialty. And that is what it's like with some guys that are offense coordinators. I will say Norv Turner is a perfect example of that. Norv Turner, one of the best offensive minds ever in football. But you look at him as a coach, kind of, And that may be the case with Dan Quinn. Because Dan Quinn seems like he's living his best life right now, developing the Micah Parsons and things, being able to take guys who people said, you got, Keanu Neal and stuff from Atlanta Falcons. They're losers. This defense is going to be a joke. You can't do anything. But he's in there, and all of a sudden you look and say, wow, the Dallas Cowboys have a defense that's taking away the football, that's knocking people out when needed, that's getting physical, and it's only scratched the surface. He doesn't even have all his players there yet. And so teams are going to want them to be head coaches. But I'm not sure. I don't know. And you don't know until they're actually head coaches if they'll be great head coaches. And as far as Mike McCarthy goes, you have to understand, a head coach's job is not necessarily to call the plays or to really work with the players one-on-one. It's to make sure that I've got the right guy to instill the philosophy that I have. So we'll see where it goes with that. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get to work on this deck so I can get back home tonight. Hopefully I'll be back in time before the game so we can do our pick segment tonight. And Brother Stu might be joining us. All right. And I'll see you soon.